Nigeria's federal government has been tasked to cautious of grants received from foreign donors and international partners, as many of them come with conditions that do not favor national interests. This was revealed by experts during a stakeholder dialogue on foreign influence on Nigeria's democratic sphere, organized by the Dataphyte Foundation in Abuja. They say there is need to protect the nation's interest regardless of agreements, grants, partnership with other countries.
Dataphyte is a social media, it's a social impact rather, it's a social impact organization, and we have worked extensively in documenting and doing a research around foreign influences, right? With our partners in NED, we were able to document some of those influences from mining, security, and the likes of that. So we have that report on the side. But more important to us is conversations around foreign influences and where it takes Nigeria and also West African countries. What influences is helping to build democracy? What influences are taking democracy a little bit back? A lot of people are having conversations about the form of democracy that would ideally work for people in Africa and lift their spirit, lift their living wages and the likes of that. One of the key things we are very particular about achieving from this conversation is to make sure that these conversations are not the ones that people will say, oh, we arrived suddenly, to say, how did we get here? But to be able to bring these things up in civil society space, in media space, and make sure that governments around the world and governments in Africa, and even our Nigerian government, is transparent about their dealings and what they want to essentially achieve when they say, oh, we are in a contract with this country, oh, this country is doing diplomatic ties, or we're arriving at some form of agreement. Those agreements need to be more transparent. Nigerians need to know what we are agreeing to a large extent. So these are some of the conversations we want to amplify day by day and look at them not just around diplomatic ties, but what happens when you invite a foreign country to help you with your security sector? What happens when you have a foreign country or a contractor or a company from a foreign country influence what happens in your mining sector, or they influence what happens in your transportation sector, or influence what happens in any of your sectors at all? Are those decisions done in the best interest of Nigeria or any of the countries in West Africa? Essentially, those are conversations we want to amplify non-stop and get credible answers, and of course get all the stakeholders to participate over and over again in moving that forward.
There must be the interaction, the interface, the counter hegemonial structure of a national government or a people that helps them to filter what to accept, what not accept, to also transform the ideas they sell to you. The word of idea is a word of multiplication and iterations and transformation. If somebody puts an idea and you receive it, you can change that idea by the time you implement it to adapt it to your own local context. So I don't think it's a dangerous thing for us, but I think it's something for us to watch out and for us to develop the capacity to interrogate, to use, adapt, and deploy to fit into our own situation as a people. Under colonial rule, we faced a negative African agency. The colonial system says we're not human beings, we're under their control, but now we are out of colonialism. And what we have gained from being independent is the capacity to decide, the will to decide what we accept. So if they are sending us value structures that we don't support, and I think there are too many of them. Yesterday, in the past, we talked about economic democracy. We talked about class struggle, socialism, Marxism. So the focus was always around the class that is suffering, working class. Today, we are dealing with identities, identitarian politics. They are telling us more about gender, transgender, sexual orientation. Those might not be the pressing need of a third world country. The crisis we face might not be a crisis of oppressing transgender people. No, we have a much more damaging crisis of ethnic fight, ethnic quarrel. How do we construct a nation that creates democratic citizenship so that all people of all ethnic or religious persuasion can come together? That may be a more important work for us.